Hey Soul Family, it's Tammy here. I am bringing you your intuitive oracle reading for the week of 18th of December to the 24th, 2023. The energies that we're in are super palatable. It's the 12th of the 12th today that I record this, so I am pulling in those portal energies to bring through the messages for the upcoming week. As always, this is a general reading for the collective. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If you like it, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I would be super duper grateful. So as always, I've had quite a few poppers actually for this reading, and the first one that came out was Originality. So this is from the relationship oracle, sacred geometry. Beautiful deck, beautiful images. The frequency of originality supports our capacity to be unique and original creators of unlimited possibilities in every moment. We're heading into a time where we can now step outside of the box. And by the box, I mean the systems that have kept us really stuck and bound. And we're now moving into the age of Aquarius, coming into 2024, which is very futuristic, which is about creating new systems, new products, new services, new everything. And this is going to bring through a lot of original energy that's going to be channeled through people. And on the flip side of that, it doesn't always have to be original, right? Like you can actually create something new by bringing two things together in which you love. And this is something that I guess I have done as my healing modality evolved. I brought in these pieces of books that I'd read, modalities that I'd studied, and I melded them together to create my own version of my healing and what flows through my healings. And I feel like, again, it's an opportunity to trust, right? To trust in what's flowing through us, that's wanting to be birthed into this world. So where can you tap into your originality? And I guess first and foremost, we have to come from that place of authenticity. Who am I? And you know, what are my beliefs? What are my values? And when we really, truly, deeply know ourselves on the deepest level, then anything that comes through us will be an original. The second popper, I think I will pull another one from this deck, Oracle of the Essences. Clary Sage. Intuition, clarity, cycles. Okay, so tapping into our intuition. Knowing who we truly are. This is very feminine, this card. You've got the womb, you've got, you know, like the sacral chakra is activated there. So activating our emotional center, our creativity, our originality, our sensuality, our sexuality, like really tapping into that life force energy that creates worlds, that creates humans, that creates life, right? So, and I guess with this, when we are in tune with our intuition, when we are releasing the distractions or releasing the drains from our lives, then we can have that clarity of where we're moving. We can trust in our intuition, which also allows us to have clarity within our decision making. And I guess with this as well, with that womb energy, you know, like honoring our cycles, honoring the cycles of life, and that's for the masculine and the feminine, right? Like honoring when your body is needing rest, deep rest, not just, you know, like pottering rest. Many of you might know what I mean by this, you know, like I used to be an active rester was what I described it as, which was actually bullshit. My body needed rest, but I still held on to my worth through producing through doing things, because I didn't feel worthy if I actually sat down and did nothing, or what looked like nothing but is actually something, because we are tuning into who we are. We're tuning into our intuition. We're learning to be in our heart space, to be in our body, to be here on this planet. And you know, to be here on this planet means fully embodying the human experience, which includes our intuition, and which includes those cycles. And nature teaches us, and all of the beauty that that nature brings within the cycles. You know, summer, we might be feeling really high vibrational, we're getting stuff done, we're producing, we're in that active energy and feeling a lot of vitality. And then we come into our autumn, right, where maybe we're feeling a bit more emotional, and this is the falling away of the leaves. So what's ready to release in these moments, in this cycle? And can we let go of those leaves and let them go? And that might be, you know, releasing emotions, allowing them to flow through us. And then we come into the winter of slowing down, rest, tapping into, you know, slow yin yoga, or just deep stretching, or slow walks on the beach, or even just sitting on the beach and connecting with nature. Resting, napping, sleeping. And then we come into spring again, right? And so we're coming back into that new beginnings, creating something new, feeling the, you know, the seeds start to blossom, and starting to feel that energy rising again before we hit summer, where that energy is full. Okay, so now you know all about the cycles. The next one that popped out was from the Angels and Ancestors, Kyle Gray. Oracle, wait for important information. I feel like the message that's coming through here is, and I actually saw a really good visual of this yesterday, you know, like when we're flowing through an emotion, or flowing through a challenging time in our life, or, you know, maybe our relationships are disrupted, or maybe we are even just struggling on the day-to-day, like maybe we are really looking forward to that rest and recuperation in the vacation or the holiday time, and not to make decisions when we're in the heat of something, not to make decisions when we're in that allowing of the energy or the emotion or the whatever's releasing to flow through us, not making a decision in the middle of that, but making a decision at the end of that, once that energy has flowed through us, or once that emotion has flowed through us and released, and waiting for the important information. Yeah, like I guess, again, I really feel like it's important for us to connect into who we truly are, because if we make decisions from a place of disconnection, disassociation, or being in the mind all the time, then the decision is not going to be a full body yes or no. And, you know, I say to a lot of my clients, like, if it's not a full body yes, then it's a no. If it's a maybe, it's a no. Okay, so waiting and trusting in the divine timing of waiting for the signals, waiting for the synchronicities, waiting for the universe to show you. And with that comes the energy of working through impatience, working through expectations or outcomes that you are wanting to control. So letting go of control and trusting, as always, comes through every reading. Yeah, because even as, you know, if we feel into that oracle energy, it's like not needing to know all the answers and trusting that the information will come, it will land exactly when it's meant to. The next couple were from the Healing Waters Oracle. Rebecca Campbell, her beautiful cards. The pink dolphin. Celebration, fun, unbridled joy, open heart. Dolphins bring so much joyful energy. The squealing, that noise that they make. I'm not going to try and do it on here, but that unbridled joy is where we're heading, and really tapping into this. And this has just hit me in this last, like literally in the last 5 days. I have hit this energy that was really lacking from my life for most of this year, to be honest. And the fun and the joy in my heart at the moment actually brings emotion. It brings feelings of gratitude to feel this joy again, because it's been a really long time. And I feel like this is I feel like we've already ended 2023 and we're already in the energy of 2024. And what that feels like is this joyful energy. So connecting to joy and celebration and the fun, connecting to your inner child, connecting to the silliness, and allowing your heart to open. Yeah, so sometimes we might literally feel our heart closing or contracting when it's a default for our heart to close, or it's a default for our walls to come up or the armor to come up. And if you do physically feel that, and maybe you'll have an awareness of that now that you've heard this, I want you to notice if you feel that contraction, and literally like say in your mind or out loud, it is safe for me to open my heart now. This might be in relationships. You might find that you get to a certain point in a relationship and you don't allow yourself to truly open from that point. And maybe you've gotten to that point with every relationship, and then it's kind of been a downward spiral because you haven't opened your heart. You haven't allowed the love in. Okay, so maybe it's a fear of commitment or a fear of being all in, because what will that mean if it ends? Will my heart break? Like maybe if you've had heartbreak before. So trusting in the process that every relationship is a beautiful opportunity to learn and to grow and build on the relationship with yourself. Because if we have that deep, heartfelt energy and relationship with ourselves, then it doesn't matter what happens outside of us with relationships. We know that we will always have us. So if there is, ever an ending of a relationship or the ending of a cycle, knowing that we will get through that. But if we close our heart off, then first of all, we're not helping the whole collective, because we're moving into open-hearted energy. So how can you open your heart? And notice what you feel in your heart. And sometimes when we have an expansion within the heart, it can actually feel a little bit painful. So even trusting in that process, right? And I guess this is, again, like it's having this relationship with ourselves so that we know and we trust that what is happening is happening for us. It's not happening to us, it's happening for us. And the heart opening, like everything opens when we open our heart. The second one from the Healing Waters was the pearl. Alchemy, the reward at the end, from grit to grace. If you've found this year really challenging and very like this, which I have personally, and this, I'm feeling this energy already. It's the light at the end of the tunnel. It's just the light. It's the grace after the grit, like the hard work, the heaviness, the darkness, walking through it. And if you felt like you have been alchemizing energy and emotion this whole year, or even just the last few months, right? So October and November were really, really big energy months. And what that meant for the human collective, whether you're aware of it or not, is that it's a purge. It's bringing up purging energy that, like our light crystalline energy bodies are being activated. And what that means is that all of that lower density, lower vibrational energy, darkness, old limiting beliefs, old stories are coming up to be purged in order to release from your system so that you can move into this light energy, this reward at the end. And yeah, so just being really conscious of any residual stories that might be playing out or looping around in your mind, and letting them go now. Yeah, it's safe for you to come to the end of this with that that recognition of how far you've come, that how much you've alchemized. And actually, I'm getting like a progress report is the words that are coming through. So, having a review of your year. What have you alchemized this year? What energy and emotion have you alchemized? What magic have you literally created? And recognizing that there is a reward at the end, and it's feeling that open-hearted energy, that joy, that celebration, that love, that beautiful deep love for self as well. Okay, I have the universe has your back, Gabby Bernstein. So we're just going to ask for any affirmation or guidance to come through for the week of December 18th to the 24th, 2023. So on that week too, we have the summer solstice here in the southern hemisphere. So I'm in New Zealand, and so this is the summer solstice is the longest day. Is that right? Wow, that's come around really quick. And yeah, so that energy is on the 22nd next week, within this week for this reading. Oh yeah, beautiful. I do whatever it takes to get closer to consciousness. The owl to me represents wisdom and recognizing what it is that you can do to get closer to, I feel like this is actually more to do with getting closer to your own connection. Every single client that I have had in the last 3 to 4 months has been around feeling disconnected and wanting to create a reconnection with themselves, with their bodies, and with their emotions, their emotional center. And so I feel like this is a call to slow down and take this opportunity to tune into you in order to get closer to consciousness, because the consciousness is not outside of us, it's within us. It's an inward journey. So what can I do to create a closeness to my own consciousness, to bringing forth the subconscious into the consciousness, even, the subconscious programming and background software, which is our subconscious mind, that actually runs us, but it runs us from a place of autopilot, default programming, old limiting beliefs that may not longer be serving us. So if we can bring that into the light, if we can bring that into our consciousness, into our mindfulness, then we can have an awareness of exactly where we're at, what we need to let go of that's not serving us, that's holding us back and draining us and stopping us from moving forward in our lives. So what can you do to get you closer to consciousness, to your own consciousness? And this is not an external. This is not going and getting a facial. This is not, You know, it's not outside of us. It's how can I connect inwards? It's always an internal first. So how can I get closer to that consciousness? By connecting inwards. This is the magical messages from the fairies. 18th to the 24th of December 2023 for the collective. That one is coming. Practice, practice, practice. Oh, okay. So, oh, this card's so cool. With daily practices, you can polish your skills and talents and increase your confidence. This, to me, is connected to getting closer to your consciousness, because this is how I did it. And this is what I teach my long-term clients. And it's all about the practice. You know, like if someone says, I can't meditate, bullshit. How long did you do it for? Yeah, it's not going to work if you try it once or twice. It's a practice. Yeah, it's just like going to the gym. You don't expect to walk out with muscles when you go to the gym twice, and that's it. Or, you know, you go to a healer even. You don't expect to come out from one session fully healed of your lifetime of, you know, like stuff. So it is about the practicing, and we've been sold the story that we live in a society where one pill will save us, where one whatever will fix everything, and it's bullshit. We've been lied to. It's not true. You have to do the work. You have to practice. And when we practice something, we get better at it, and then it becomes our natural, and then it becomes our autopilot. So, like, there's so much power in practice. I can't. Like, this is exciting for me. This is my favorite card. Because that is what practicing your internal connection, whether it's through breath work, right? Breathing, whether it's through connecting to nature, just sitting on the earth, whether it's through self-massage, whether it's through intimacy and self-pleasure practice, whether it's through practicing meditation, practicing being still, like being still, just you and your breath with no distractions, practicing. And, you know, like, yes, we can practice our skills and our talents. I mean, you know, practicing your healing modality even, it will evolve eventually, like, because the more we do it, the more things evolve, and the more they become a natural part of who you are. So, yeah, like for me, I was one of those people that said, I can't meditate. And I started with really short guided meditations. I was very picky about the voice and, you know, the music, everything. And I found what worked for me, and I practiced every day. Just a short one every day, 10 minutes. You don't have to sit on a hilltop like a Buddhist monk and meditate for 5 hours a day, right? Like, it doesn't have to be huge. Or another practice that I still do is just sitting and breathing into my heart space for 5 to 10 minutes, a couple of times a day. And that is enough for me to tune into my intuition, for me to tune into my inner goddess, yeah? And to get closer to my consciousness. Oh, I love that. That's awesome. I've done this one. Done this one. Where am I? I'm going to do another one from the Oracle of Essences. Okay. So another essence that will most benefit the collective from the 18th to the 24th of December 2023. I'm calling in that summer solstice energy. Oh, yeah, nice. Cedarwood. Oh, look at the heart there. Optimism and connection. This has a real community feel around it. Cedarwood is a very earthy frequency and scent, and the connection to earth, the connection to community. This comes when we have practiced our connection with ourselves. Okay, so if you are still one of those people that has that connection to the community, but there's something missing, or there's an urge or a need to have connection with other people, maybe because there's a fear of being alone. So sometimes that connection to community can actually be like an outward trauma response, because there's not enough connection within. So when all of this lines up and we have that beautiful connection within ourselves, we're close to our intuition, to our consciousness, then that connection to community is so much deeper and so much more, it's more in that creational, like, creating this new earth energy. And with that comes the optimism, right? Like that heart-centered energy of optimism, joy, celebration, connection with others, connection with self. It is all interconnected. We are all interconnected. And when we truly connect with ourselves, we realize how much we are connected to everything else, not just humans, but everything, nature, animals, sea life, plants, just everything is connected. Beautiful reading. So this has been your reading for the 18th of December through to the 24th, which will take us to Christmas Eve, and take us through that summer solstice energy as well. So a lot of kind of new energy is feeling like, a rebirth energy. So with rebirth comes the death. So being allowing of the letting go of what's no longer serving you in order to move forward into this beautiful new beginnings, originality, connection, heart frequency. It's all the good stuff. Thank you. Have a beautiful week, and I will see you next week.